welcome back to another video. So today I am bringing you my 2022 holiday gift guide. Last year at the end of November I did one of these videos. I did one for coloring supplies and another one for coloring books. In this video I'm going to show you nothing but coloring supplies. I'm going to be sharing lots of different pencils, both artist grade and budget, some of my favorite things that I enjoy using as well as essentials. And so we have a lot to go over in this video, but I think this video will be really helpful for those of you that are still doing your Christmas shopping, whether you know somebody who is coloring or you want to go through this video and make a list and give that list to your loved ones so that they can do their Christmas shopping for you. Either way, I think you'll really enjoy this video. I will have this video divided into sections so you can check the bottom bar for timestamps and you can go back and rewatch the sections you would like to watch or rewatch. I will also have all of the items I share with you in this video in the description box below so that you can easily find them. I will also have links down there to my Facebook group, my email list, my Etsy shop, and my Patreon if you would like to support me there. I now also have channel membership. You can find more out about that by clicking the join button down below the video. So the first thing I want to share with you in this video is I am running a holiday sale in my Etsy shop. I ran a sale for Black Friday and then I ended up running the sale through Cyber Monday, and I have decided to continue with the sale for a couple more weeks through December. And so I just wanted to share a couple of the things with you that are available in my Etsy shop right now. This is my coloring page planner workbook. This is a newer release and this is one of the most popular items that is available now in my Etsy shop. So in this planner workbook, on the first sheet you have just a checklist that helps you sort of decide what it is you want to color, and you can just go through here and check off the things, and it helps you to be able to decide on what you want to color and decide on a coloring book to sort of narrow things down for you, making it much less overwhelming. Then after it talks about that, it does help you with choosing your colors. And then on the next couple of the pages, it is just going to tell you exactly how to use the workbook and how to go through it. Then I provide you with a coloring page pre-planner where you can use this to just pre-plan out your coloring pages and your ideas. You get a whole color swatch testing area, and then you get a coloring page tracker so you could keep track of all your ideas, the mediums you're using, the artist, the name of the coloring book, and your start date and your completion date. And so this way you could keep it with your coloring pages. So if you have a lot of works in progress, if you're like me and you start coloring something and you decide, I'm just not feeling this anymore and I think I want to come back to it later, and you go and start something else, you can make a new one for whatever the new page is that you're starting, and then you can take the current sheet that you had already filled out and just put it with that coloring page so that you don't have to leave your pencils and everything laying all over the place and scattered all over your desk like I do a lot of times. And then I do have a few different color pencil swatch charts available. This is the one for 120, and I do have the sections that are big enough on here so that you can put the name of the color and then the number, and then you have a big enough box to create a gradient of the values from each one of your colored pencils. And then this one is for 72 colors. I had a lot of you ask me to create these division lines in each one of the boxes because you struggle to be able to create that gradient of light, medium, and dark. So I put the little boxes in there to make it easier for you all to be able to do that. And I also have this one without the lines there. So for those of you that just want to swatch your colors at one value all the way across, or even want to create your own gradient, you can do that. I also have a color combinations and blending workbook. This is one of my absolute best sellers. It always has been since I released it. I think it's been out now for about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, but this one has been so popular, and it's basically just a step-by-step guide that shows you exactly how to put your colors together and how to blend your colors so that you can create smooth transitions. As you can see, it is just a complete written out tutorial, and then it does have some sheets that have examples showing you exactly how to do it. You'll find little helpful hints all throughout the workbook. I believe the workbook is 29 pages long. You also get plenty of practice worksheets so that you could practice creating your color combinations and putting your colors together and creating smooth transitions, and it's just basically a step-by-step guide for you to be able to do over and over. This is the sheet to practice your 4 blend color combinations, but it does start at 3 blend color combinations and it goes to 5. And then you can also purchase it as a bundle where you get lots of color combination charts. I also have the color combination charts available separately so you can keep track of all of your color combinations. So the first thing we're going to talk about in this video is colored pencils. Now I'm going to share a couple artist grade pencils and then we're going to move to the more budget friendly sets. I know a lot of you that are watching my channel are very much new to this hobby and you would like to see some of the best budget sets. So we are going to go over that as well, and I'm going to share with you some of my absolute favorites that I think would make great gifts. So these are my Prismacolors. There are some missing because I have been pulling colors from here when I have needed extras, but I think most of us know what the Prismacolors look like. I'll show you the different trays for those of you that don't know what the Prismacolors look like or what they look like in this 150 set. Maybe you have a smaller set and you have not been able to afford these yet, but let me tell you, there are some really great deals on these right now for right around $94 for this full set, and that is a fantastic deal. I believe Amazon has been running that deal and Blick has been running that deal as well. I'll have links for both of those down in the description box below. You can see that I'm missing quite a few, but there are a few more reds that go in here and oranges, and I believe I'm missing a yellow. There's actually more missing out of here than I thought there was. But with this set, you get lots of really beautiful colors. You get tons of greens. I love the range of greens that we get in this Prismacolor set. And then you get lots of different grays, all different percentages of gray. You can use these to create more added depth and dimension on your coloring pages. That's what I really enjoy using my grays for, and that is what they benefit me for the most, and that is one of the reasons I absolutely love having the 150 set. But you do also get your metallics. You get a bronze and a gold and a silver. But this is just a really nice set to have if you could afford it, and if you can't afford it, then make your list and give it to a loved one, and hopefully someone will get it for you for Christmas. The next set of artist grade pencils that I have are my Polychromos, and these have lately, very recently, become a favorite of mine. I have really been enjoying using them. I do have, again, some of these out of here missing because I am using them for something. I just used them in a tutorial I filmed just last week, I believe, and so I'm still working on that page, so I haven't put all the pencils back yet. But you get a lot of really nice colors in here. You do get your metallics. You get a bronze, a gold, and a silver. They hold a lead for much longer than something like a Prismacolor. They are an oil-based pencil, so they are going to layer rather than blend. For those of you that used Prismacolors, you know they just kind of smush together and the color moves around very easily and all of that. But when you're using something like a Polychromos, you need to lay them down a little bit differently. There is a slight learning curve if you are used to using a wax-based pencil or something like a Prismacolor that is super, super soft. But these are a wonderful pencil, and I have come to love them more and more very, very recently. And there are certain coloring books that I will use only these pencils on now. For instance, my romantic country coloring books, these work fabulous in those books. My Hannah Carlson books, I've been using these a lot in her books as well. I would say they even work better than using a Prismacolor in those two particular books, and a Prismacolor usually works really well no matter what paper you use it with. At least for me it does. The price has dropped recently on these two. There are so many good prices out there right now for the holidays. Lately, since I would say around the middle of November, these have been right around $164 on Amazon for this 120 set, and that is a really good price considering they're usually sitting right around $175. So these and the Prismacolor are the only two artist grade sets that I'm going to share with you today, because when we go into something like Caran d'Ache Luminance or the Pablos, they tend to get very, very expensive, and I really feel like having those pencils is just really more so a luxury, and you don't have to have something like that to color in coloring books. You don't even need Polychromos or Prismacolors to color in coloring books, and we're going to talk about that now, because now I'm going to switch over to all of my favorite budget friendly sets. Okay, so this first one that I'm going to share, these are my Black Widows. We now have 180 colors in the Black Widow set, and they have just recently changed them so that they all have the color dipped tips on them so that they all match a little bit better. Now, some of the more recent sets do have the color dipped tips that go down much further than the previous sets, but for me, I feel like that's okay. They still all have the same black barrel. They do have a different color writing on each one of the sets. Now I'm sharing these first because if you're interested in getting all 180 colors, that is most likely going to put you right out of the budget range. But the good thing about the Black Widows is that you can purchase them as you can afford them. So you can start with maybe the first 3 sets, the Black Widows, the Cobras, and the Scorpion set. And those are all $17.36 each, and you get 24 pencils in each one of those sets. So that will give you a nice starting point. And then as you can afford it, you can add on the other sets. So there are 2 skin tone sets, a light skin tone set and a dark skin tone set. Those are going to be $12.87 each, and they each come with 12 colors. So if you purchase both of those, you will have 24 skin tones to add to your first 3 starting sets. And then if you would like to build your set from there, you can then add on the Monarchs and the Dragon set. The Monarchs right now on Amazon, you get 48 colors and they're $29.57. And the Black Widow Dragon set, you are going to get 36 colors and it is $22.27. So if you added all of those up, you are probably well over $100, which takes this right out of the budget range. But I will say they are very, very nice colored pencils to work with. They work beautifully in a ton of different coloring books. I really love using these in Johanna Basford's World of Flowers. But the good thing about this set is you can build it as you can afford it. And in the end, you will eventually end up with 180 colors until they possibly come out with more colors. We already have so many colors in this set, so I don't know where they would go with that or what other colors they would even decide to add, because we've got so many beautiful shades of green, some gorgeous shades of blue already, lots and lots of pinks and purples. But this set to me seems really, really complete. And the colors are just gorgeous. They go down beautifully. But I think if you decide to ask for this set for Christmas, I think you will really, really love them. Or if you're someone who is looking to gift these to somebody, they are going to be a very, very lucky colorist. So for those of you that are interested in seeing the colors that you get in the Black Widow set, this is the range of colors. As you can see, you get some really beautiful colors. I did put all 180 colors into color family order. I have a video on that and I will link it in the upper right hand corner. But this swatch chart is available in my Etsy shop if you're interested. Again, right now it is on sale if you're watching this video during the month of December. And this is the other side. So I did do it on 2 different sides. You can put it in one of these plastic protectors so that you could just easily flip it back and forth. That's what I do. But I wanted to make sure that the name of the color and the numbers were very legible, because if you're anything like me, I don't want to be looking at a swatch chart and needing to grab my glasses to be able to see what I'm reading. And then to go to my colored pencils and try to find that pencil with sometimes the little teeny writing that is on the barrels of the pencils. That just makes it too frustrating for me. So I wanted to make sure that everything was really, really legible, and that's why it is on 2 sides. But you can see that there are some gorgeous colors in this set if you were to have all 180 colors. But even if you are just able to afford the first 3 sets just to start, you will have a really good selection of colors with those as well. The next set that is a favorite of mine that I think would be a wonderful gift for the holidays, whether you are the receiver or you're giving it to somebody, are the Brute Fooner Square 120 set. I absolutely love these pencils, but you are getting some beautiful colors in this set. This is probably one of the most unique budget sets with some of the most unique colors that you're going to get out of any of the budget sets. I did also put these into color family order. I will link the video in the upper right hand corner for you to check out. But this is my swatch chart. The blank swatch chart is available in my Facebook group. If you would like to go there and put in a request to join, all you have to do is go to the file section and you can download the blank chart from there, and then you can follow along with the video and put all of your Brute Fooners in color family order. But again, this is front. And then I have a few on the back. I didn't make this swatch chart exact to any colored pencil set. But these pencils over the holidays have gone down as low as $23. And I think even on Amazon UK, they dropped really, really low over Black Friday. But I will have all of the links down there for these in the description box. The next set of budget pencils I would like to share with you are the Arrtx pencils. These are the 72 set. These have only been out for a few months now, and they are wonderful pencils. and they work very nicely in a lot of different coloring books. But you get some really pretty colors in here, and they did actually just release the 126 set, and I can't turn this too much because I just finished doing my review on the 126 set of pencils. So I've got all my pencils actually inside the top of the box. And so I've got those inside there, and then I have the rest of my 126 sitting over here. And the ones that you don't see in here are actually inside of this box. Now, they did make a couple changes, and they took out a couple colors and replaced those colors with a couple other colors. I think a blue and a purple. I think it was lavender, if I'm remembering right. So all of the new 72 sets that you order are going to have those new colors in it. And the yellow, we are losing one yellow, but the yellow that we're losing, it's really not a big deal because it was very, very close to one of the other yellows we already had. And the addition of the two new colors that we're getting are a really nice addition to this colored pencil set. I can't find my swatch chart right now for these, and in the video I did swatch all of the colors out. So if you would like to see all of the colors that we now have in the 126 set, you can go and check out my review. I'll make sure that's linked in the upper right hand corner. But these are fabulous pencils. And this 126 set, as of right now, it is out of stock in the US. I believe it is in stock in the UK and in Germany and a couple of the other Amazon sites, but they are going to be returning to Amazon US probably in the first week of December. You can, of course, still grab the 72 set right now if you want to grab those and try them out. I believe these are right around $23 on sale right now. They're usually between $23 and I think $29. And I believe these were $54.99 for the 126 set. So the last budget set that I want to share with you is the Color 240. These have been on sale lately for only $37. So if you can find them at that price, that is a complete steal. You're getting 240 colors for that price, which is a fantastic deal. So they do come with their own swatch chart where you can swatch out all the colors. I started with my yellows, and then I did some of the pinks, and then after I got into the pinks, I decided I was going to do it later, and I never came back and finished it. But I do need to come back and finish that. I think that I thought that I was going to go ahead and make my own 240 swatch chart. Then I thought about it and I was like, that's a lot of boxes to put on a swatch chart. So we'll see what happens. So many people have asked me to put these in color family order, and just thinking about it is daunting. So I've not done that. But there are some gorgeous colors in this set, and there are so many trays in here. Again, you get 240 colors. That is a lot of colors. You're going to get metallics in here and a lot of fluorescent colors. Look at this hot pink. Is that not gorgeous? Look at the tip of that pencil, how bright that is. And look at this orange. So you're getting some neons in here. Here's another neon right here. You're getting some metallic colors as well. I need to see if I can see any of those here, but one of these trays definitely has metallics. But look at all these blues. And there are so many greens. This tray here that I just showed you with all of those greens, and then you get even more greens here. Now that is a lot of greens. If you have a book like Johanna Basford's World of Flowers and you're coloring leaves, this colored pencil set is the answer. But look at all these gorgeous metallics you get here in this set. So, so pretty. I believe the metallics are just sort of scattered throughout, but I believe there are a couple other metallics in here somewhere. Here's one right here. I believe that is your gold. But look at all of the browns you get in the shades of tan and some orangey browns. You've got some more purples down here, but there's even more purples on here on this tray. If you are all about wanting colors, this is the set for you. You get lots of pastel colors in here as well. Look at that beautiful pale minty green. Isn't that so pretty? And then on this tray, look at that gorgeous light blue that you get right there. But you get a really good range in here of colors. Look at this gorgeous bright, bright yellowish green. That is so pretty. You get quite a few bright greens here. Look at that. And then look at the fluorescent green. And look at all the bright colors on this tray. Look at these. My goodness. And then this tray has a whole bunch of bright, beautiful colors as well as some lighter colors. The artwork on the box alone If I told you that that was just one of the reasons that I had to have these pencils, I would not be exaggerating, because I saw the artwork on this box and I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And those of you that have been watching my channel for some time, you probably know that this shade of green right here is one of my absolute favorite colors. I love greens and blues and greenish blues, teals, aquas, and colors like that. They're some of my favorites. So I just had to have these pencils, and it turned out that I really loved them. Okay, y'all, so I forgot one set when I was showing you the artist grade sets, or the more expensive sets, I should say. I forgot one of my absolute favorites, and if y'all have been watching me for a while, you know that these are my favorites, my Derwent Inktense. These are so wonderful. I have tons of tutorials on my channel where I have used these. You get a beautiful array of colors in this set, and these have been a really good price since the middle of November on Amazon. But you do get 72 colors, and if there is a color you don't see on here, you can always mix them to get the color that you want. But I love the color selection, and I've never had a problem with needing other colors and not being able to create something that I don't have. If you've watched some of my tutorials before where I use the Derwent Inktense, you will see how amazing they are. You lay them down and use them just like a colored pencil, but then after you lay them down, you use a water brush like this one here to activate the color, and the color gets really vibrant and intense, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And in my experience, they are so much easier to use than your typical watercolor pencil, but you still get to play with water and colored pencils at the same time, so you get the best of both worlds. And when y'all are making your Christmas lists, don't forget to add a pencil case onto there, because especially for this one, you're only getting 72 colors, and look how adorable this little tiny case is. First of all, I love this pattern. You probably have noticed that I have a lot of different cases with this pattern because it's my absolute favorite. Again, it's that like seafoamy green looking color, which I absolutely love. And one of my other favorite colors is pink. So this one fits me really well. But this case is just adorable. It's so teeny tiny, and it would be absolutely perfect if you just wanted to take your Derwent Inktense and you wanted to go somewhere, or take your coloring with you and go color somewhere else outside of the house at a coffee shop or whatever. So let me show you the difference. So this is the case that I have my Prismacolors in, and this is the case that I have my Derwent Inktense in. And I think this one here probably fits 200 colors because I always like to have extras. It might even be the 160 case, but look at the difference in the size. This one is just so cute, and I mean, those of you that carry around bigger purses, you could even fit this with one coloring book right in your purse and then throw a water brush in there with it. Or you can grab a colored pencil set, one of the ones that I suggested that also comes in a 72 set. I believe that the Brute Fooner squares also come in a 72 set. Or if you were just starting out with a few of the Black Widows, you can bring the first 3 sets of Black Widows with you and be able to fit them inside here as well. Okay, so the next part of the video, we're going to talk about essentials. So if you are someone who is just beginning this hobby, I am going to set you up here with everything that you need, and then you could just sort of pick and choose what you think you might like. And if you are somebody who is buying for someone who is just come into this adult coloring hobby, this part of the video is going to be very helpful for you. And remember, for any other part of the video you'd like to see, I am going to have timestamps down below so that you can go to the certain parts of the video that you would like to see, because after this I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite fun supplies with you, so I think you're really going to enjoy that part as well. So the first thing that you need, or that is very important, is of course coloring books. But I'm probably going to do the coloring books in a separate video. So if you are not coloring in a coloring book and you are looking for paper and you want to print out PDFs, you want to purchase something on maybe Etsy, or you want to download a free coloring page, you're going to need a good paper to be able to print that coloring page. Now this is the Spring Hill paper. This is the 80-pound vellum Bristol paper. This is my absolute favorite, but you can see that I'm running very low. I just ordered a brand new pack because I go through this like crazy, but it is a thicker paper. It has quite a bit of tooth, and it is great for anything that you're doing with colored pencils. If you are an artist, or you're wanting to learn to become an artist and you want to work with colored pencils, this paper is great for that as well. If you want to print out coloring pages, you could use this paper to print out your coloring pages. The ink should not smear. It should be be fine. If you are looking for a good printer, I always have that linked down in the description box below. This is the other paper that I really, really like, but this paper is going to serve a different purpose. This is the Hammermill Premium Color Copy Paper. I have the 80 pound. I believe it's available in 60 pound as well. I don't think that really makes much of a difference. The 80 pound is just going to be a little bit thicker, but this is the paper that I really enjoy using for markers and for gel pens, whether I'm using alcohol markers or water-based markers. This is the paper that I use, and any gel pen works wonderful on here as well. If you are into gel pen blending, the gel pens blend beautifully on this paper as well. This is a very smooth paper, so it's not going to have any tooth on it like the Spring Hill paper. It is very, very smooth, and that's what makes it so great for markers and gel pens. But I will have all of these linked down in the description box below. So those are the papers for those of you that are more on a budget. These papers are going to be a little bit more expensive, not that expensive, but you're getting a lot less paper. So I usually pick these up at Michael's. I think I have bought a couple on Amazon. I usually get them at Michael's when Michael's has their buy one, get one 50% off sale on paper. And then I get this paper and the next one that I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is the tone tan paper. I also have the tone gray. I really prefer the tone tan. I like it much better just because I like the color. But I'll show you an example of why I use this paper. If you look at this coloring page, you can see all of the white I used here. It laid right over the other colors. After I had already laid down the pink, I came back in with the white and I laid it right down there, and it just really pops. Anywhere you use white on your coloring pages, using this paper, the white just pops off the page. I did a lot of that all down here, and I did another coloring page where I colored a white flower. I think I actually have a tutorial for that. If I could find it, I'll link it in the upper right hand corner. It's on a portrait and it just really stood out and off of the hair, and it looked really, really pretty. And I believe it was a white daisy, but it makes it so easy to just be able to color white and just use a white pencil because it stands off so much on this tone tan paper. It's beautiful. This paper is a lot thinner than something like the Spring Hill paper, and it has a very little bit of tooth. So when you're coloring with this paper, you don't have a whole lot of tooth to fill. So if you're somebody that likes to color, wants to see very vibrant colors, and doesn't want to take a whole lot of time to continue to keep laying down layer after layer, you may really, really love this paper. And this is the other paper now that I always purchase when Michael is having their buy one, get one 50% off sales. They also do have this on Amazon if you can't get to a Michael's. I will make sure everything is linked down in the description box below. But I absolutely love this paper. It is not a bright white. It is sort of an off-white. I need to leave my hand here or my camera is going to go out of focus. But you can see that the paper is not a bright, bright white. I'll pull up the Spring Hill paper so that I can show you a comparison. But this is the Spring Hill paper, and then this is the Strathmore colored pencil paper. And you can see that this is much whiter, and this one is a little bit different. I mean, it's not bad though. It's a really nice paper to color on. It is very, very toothy, and it is pretty thick. But it's a really nice paper to color on. But when you do use this paper, you do have to have a paper cutter to be able to take it out and then cut it down to an 8.5 by 11, because this pad of paper is 9 by 12. So you're going to have to take a few inches off so that you could get it in your printer. And like I said, you are only getting 30 sheets. And this paper is not cheap. You're probably going to pay right around $12 if you're paying regular price for this paper. So for $12, you're only getting 30 sheets of paper. But I mean, 30 sheets of paper, if you're printing out 30 different coloring pages, that's going to take you a little while to color. So really, if you look at it that way, it's really not that much to spend. Okay, and the next two essentials that you're going to absolutely want to have if you are just starting this hobby or you're buying for somebody for the holidays that is just starting this hobby is a good pencil sharpener. Now, if you are someone who is purchasing something for somebody, or you are putting on your Christmas list for yourself the Brutfuner squares, or even the Black Widows, which are a hexagonal pencil, sometimes those are a little more difficult to find a pencil sharpener for. But this Starlink and this Doll 133 work beautifully with most all pencils. I have not tried to use use these for any of my pencils, even my wider pencils that they have not been able to sharpen. They are both absolutely wonderful. So whether your pencil is square, your pencil is hexagonal, it's a wider round pencil. I even have, I can't think of what they're called right now, but those magic pencils that have the 3 colors that come out of the tip of the pencil, they are triangular and very, very wide. And even those went into my Doll 133 and it sharpened just fine. Now I suggest the Doll 133, especially for your Prismacolors, because ever since buying this pencil sharpener and using it with my Prismacolors, I was having all kinds of breakages. And since using the Doll 133, I've not had any more breakages with my Prismacolors. Now, I thought for the longest time that I would not ever use an electric pencil sharpener. And when this company reached out to me, I just happened to be looking for an electric pencil sharpener because I was having a lot of hand pain and I was really going to need one. Now, I'm doing YouTube videos, so sometimes I need to go through a whole set of 150 pencils or 120 pencils, and I need to sharpen them all. So with hand pain, that was just not happening. Even 72 pencils, that was not happening when you have pain in your hands. So this came at the perfect time and I absolutely love it. It is so easy to use. It is rechargeable. And when you charge it up, the battery lasts for a very long time. It does have a setting down here, 1, 2, or 3. I always leave it on 3 and it seems to give me the perfect point. The auto stops in the exact place that it should, and it gives me a beautiful lead. But I have tried other electric pencil sharpeners, one that is very, very popular, and the one that I received may have been defective. I had the AF-Mat, I still have the AF-Mat, but I don't ever use it because it would just sharpen and sharpen, and the auto stop, I could not wait for the auto stop because it would make me absolutely crazy. I wasn't even sure if the auto stop was going to stop. I did not want to wait for it to stop because it was just grinding away my pencil. So that's when I got this one, and I have loved this one ever since. So the next thing I have are Posca pens. These are my white Posca pens, and I really truly believe that these are an essential because these are fabulous for adding highlights to your coloring pages and creating little reflections, or for coloring something like bubbles, or for adding a little bit extra white where you may have gone over it with another color, or using them as a pen that is used for fixing some of your mistakes where you've done something like that. But these are really, really wonderful, and they come in a pack of 3 just like this. These are all different sizes. This is the biggest one, so it's really, really wide. You want to use that one for bigger areas. This one is the medium size one. So that one is just a little bit smaller. It's right in between that one and this one. This one is the super fine tip. So you can see that that one is very, very tiny, and this one is for smaller details. Like if you want to just put a little dot in the center of a very small flower or something, I'd use that one for that a lot. So the other thing that I consider an absolute essential would be white gel pens. Now these fall along the same lines as the Posca pens, and I would use these for the same things that I use Posca pens with. Sometimes, depending on the paper, I find that the Posca pens work better. Sometimes I find that these work better. These Uniball Signos, they came in a pack of 2 like this, and these are my favorite ones. So when I'm using gel pens in my coloring books or on my coloring pages, I like to use the broad tip. You can see on this one that it does say white up here, but right here on the pen it also says broad. I believe that this is the 1mm pen, and then this one tells you right here that it is 1.0 millimeters. So I also have these. These are my Art and Fly gel pens. You do get 3 white gel pens in here. I think the tip on these is a little bit thinner though. They are a really good gel pen, and I've used them quite a lot, and I was really surprised how well they worked when I received these, because I really wasn't expecting a whole lot, because everybody's always talking about the Uniball or the Jelly Roll. I do have a Jelly Roll here. I don't usually have a whole lot of luck with the Jelly Roll, but I do think that the white Jelly Rolls that I purchased were defective because one of them would not even work and the ink would never even come out. So I really probably do need to get some more white Jelly Rolls. Next thing that is an absolute essential is your mono eraser. And then I also have this eraser here that I absolutely love. It has been used quite a lot, but I believe this is Fractise. This is a General's eraser. So I use both of these. This one has the very small tip on it. You push it down like this and it pushes out the little teeny tiny eraser. And this one is great for when you are coloring in a coloring book and you need to get in those really teeny tiny small spaces. And it pulls the color up really, really nicely. And then this one I use to erase much bigger areas, or I'll also use this if I'm using something like pastels and I want to pull up some of the color because I laid too much, or if I want to go back and erase something just to create some type of certain effect with the eraser. But you can also do that one with this one. If you wanted to make a bunch of circles after you laid down a layer of pastels and you wanted to make like a circle background before you set it, you could always use this one depending on the size of your circles. But having an eraser, especially if you are a beginner, is very, very important. And the very last thing that would be an essential would be to have a pencil case. Now these pencil cases that I purchase are the BTSKY cases. I'm not sure if it's just initials or you pronounce it a certain some kind of way, but this is the one I have for my Prismacolors, and it's a larger one because there are 150 Prismacolors, and I even have doubles in here. So for my Prismacolors, I always buy one that is bigger than for what the set is. I do that really with every pencil set because I like to have extra spaces in my pencil cases just to be able to add in extra colors for maybe some of the colors that I use a lot more often so that I could have a spare if I need it. But you do get all the single spaces in these pencil cases, which I really, really like. Here's another one of the colors that are available. I also have some gray ones, and there are so many different colors and other patterns available. But I will have those linked down in the description box below, and then you can just go to the listing and you can flip through the patterns and the colors and see what's available. This next part of the video is going to be all about supplies that are great for backgrounds. And these supplies are not just great for backgrounds, you can use them for other things too. But I know in the coloring community, backgrounds are so important. Everybody's always wanting me to do background tutorials, which I'm getting to. I have another few background tutorials planned. I have one getting ready to come up on a color along that I'm finishing up. I just finished coloring the dragonfly on the page, which was the very last part. And so the next video will be a background. And I'm thinking about using these and doing another tutorial with these, but these are the Caran d'Ache Neo colors. I know these are a little bit pricier, but they are wonderful. I am going to show you some budget options as well after this, but I just wanted y'all to be able to see these because they are wonderful. I absolutely love these. I do have quite a few tutorials with these, and if I could find one of those tutorials, I will link it in the upper right hand corner. I actually started out with the very small set of these, and then I loved them so much, so I had to have the biggest one. But there are 84 colors in here, and they are a water-soluble wax pastel. They are just so fun to work with, and you can use them with water or not use them with water, but they're sort of like an upgraded crayon, a very expensive crayon. If you have these, you know that these go down much smoother and much nicer than something like a Crayola. And there is definitely nothing wrong with still using Crayolas. I still use Crayolas. So if you were on a budget and you were looking for pastels, these are one of my favorites. These are the Mungio pastels. You get 64 colors in here, and you can get these for right around $10. They are fabulous. I have done tutorials using these. If I could find the tutorial, I'll try to link it up in the upper right hand corner. I can only link 5 videos in the upper right hand corner, so I won't be able to link everything. But you can go to my channel and you could do a search for anything and you will find it. But you get some really pretty colors in here, and these are a lot of fun to use. And once you have a set of these, even at only $10, these will last you forever. Like, they will literally last you forever. You could do so many coloring page backgrounds and you will hardly use any of it. They go a very long way. And the next thing I have are my distress inks. Y'all, I finally got distress inks. So many of you were asking me to do a tutorial on these when I was going through all my supplies for this video to come up with the perfect supplies to ask for Christmas or to give for Christmas. I pulled these out and I was like, oh my gosh, I still need to do a tutorial for these. But a wonderful subscriber sent me a lot of these. Some of them I did already have, but they were dried up. And one of my subscribers knew that they were dried up, and this was on my wish list. So I now have the refresher to go ahead and refresh those. This is just the little tool that is used for your distress inks, but they are stackable. And so you just take the top off like this, and then this little tool you buy separately, and you can pull on and off these little circular pieces here, and then these just get dipped into your distress ink, and then you could apply it and make a background on your coloring page. And there are thinner tools that you could purchase for these. You don't have to just use these just for backgrounds. You can use these on your actual coloring pages to color with, and I'm pretty sure you can go over them with colored pencils. They are just really, really cool. But I've got a really good selection of colors now, so I do plan on doing a tutorial with the distress inks. I've just been so busy, and I've been trying to finish up that color along that I started on the frog page in Maria Trolle's Botanicum. But these are absolutely wonderful. They come in packs of 3. And as far as this little case I bought to put them in, I got this at Hobby Lobby, and I think it was on sale for half off, so I think I got it for $2.50. But it was super handy. I didn't want to buy one of the ones that were made for distress inks because I had too many of them, and I would have had to buy too many of those little silver tins, and I thought this would be perfect. But I love this little case. The next thing that would be absolutely wonderful for your coloring pages to do backgrounds would be these pan pastels. Now, these pan pastels are not cheap. They're very expensive. You can buy them in kits, which is how I received them. I've had some wonderful subscribers that have sent me a few different kits, and if you want to purchase these, purchasing them in a kit is probably not the way to go, but I give all the details on that in the last video I did where I reviewed the pastel set of the pan pastels. I will put that in the upper right hand corner because I share with you all of the information in that video, the best way to purchase them, the best way to start, the best way to add on so that you can have the full set and all of that. But I did purchase these cases. These cases are made specifically for the pan pastels because I needed a place to store them. But I really like the smaller one better. It just didn't fit as many. I wish that I would have gotten all of the smaller ones just because it's easier and more compact to slide in my bookshelf. These are super big, although it does fit a lot more of the colors. They are just really huge. And you could put your pan pastels in here any way you want. You can leave the tops on them, or you can take the tops off. I do have one here that I did leave the top on, and this did still close very nicely. So you could do it however you want, but this just makes them a lot more accessible when you want to be able to use them. But these are super nice and a lot of fun to have. And again, with these, you don't have to just use them for backgrounds. You can also use them if you want to just use them to color with on your coloring pages. But I will tell you that a very little bit goes a very long way. And again, with these, once you have these, you will have them for many years to come because it would take you absolutely forever to go through all of this. It really would. So if you do decide to order them in the kits, you do get 20 colors in the kits. This one is all pastels. This is the one that I did do the review on, where I shared all the information on what you should buy first and all of that. But this is how they come. This is what the box looks like if you do order a kit. So if you order it in a kit, you do get the extra tools. Here I get a sponge, and then I get a couple of the applicators, and then down at the bottom of each one of these, you get more applicators. Once you use them, you can just pull more out of there from the container at the bottom. But these are just really difficult for me to turn and take off and put back on. So I really like having the other cases that I ordered. And some of the colors that are in here are actually duplicates for some of the colors that you already saw, because that's what happens when you order the kits. You end up with duplicates of some of the colors. And a lot of the colors in a lot of these kits are duplicated over, not just in one kit, but in several. So you have to be really careful. But like I said, the reason I ended up with so many like that is because I had a few different subscribers send me the pan pastels, and so I ended up with quite a few different sets of these. Okay, y'all, so the next part of the video, we are going to talk about fun coloring supplies that are sort of like add-ons and things that you're just going to want
because they're so much fun to have in your collection. So these are my 216 set of Ohuhus. These are an alcohol marker. They are absolutely wonderful. Now, when I got them, they did not come like this, where they are sort of in a decent color family order. I tried to put all the yellows together, all the greens together, all the tans and beigey colors and the grays and all the blues together and the pinks and the reds. But when you first receive them in the mail, it is scattered just everywhere. Now, Ohuhu did come out with a very big set very recently that is bigger than this 216 set, and it comes with a crazy amount of colors. It comes with 320. And it's $244.99 right now on Amazon. Let me go ahead and show you these, because these are a brush on one side. So that is what the brush looks like. And then that is what the broad nib looks like. But they are super nice markers. I really love these. And these are the ones that I do use with the hammer mill paper. They work beautifully on the hammer mill paper. And a lot of times when I use my alcohol markers, I will go over them with colored pencil and use the alcohol marker as a base. It leaves for a very nice base to be able to put your colored pencils over. And creating that layer with the markers makes it so much easier too to work with your colored pencil, because it just lays right over that base layer, and it helps you to create a lot more depth. You could even come back with your lighter colors and add more highlights. It really just saves a whole lot of time on your coloring pages. So I really do love using these alcohol markers. They will bleed through though. So if you're using these in a coloring book, make sure that you put something behind the page so that you don't have bleed through. But these are super, super nice. They come with the swatch charts already in here. So these are the colors that you're getting. So let me go ahead and just flip through these really quick so you can see all of the colors. But that is quite a few colors to get in one alcohol marker set. And I love how they always add in the swatch charts and they tuck them down here in the front. I love the packaging of Ohuhu. The cases are so super nice. They zip up so super easily, and it's really good quality. You get the handle right here, and then you also get the bigger handle here on this end. Now, if you were to purchase this set, it does not come with all the skin colors. I believe that you do need to also purchase the 36 set of skin tones. I have the 24 set of skin tones because when Ohuhu sent these to me for my video, I do have a video review on these. You could search my channel for that. But when they sent them to me for the video review, they only had a 24 set in their warehouse. But I was told that you will, if you purchase that 36 set, since some of the colors that are in the skin tone set are in this 216 set, you do end up with some duplicates. Now, y'all, just wait for this, okay? So that 320 set they came out with, that is now on Amazon. If you already have this 216 set, they now have a 104 set that you can purchase so that you can also have all the colors. So Ohuhu was really nice and sent me these, and I have not showed them in a video yet. I am going to do a video on these, and I'm going to swatch them all out so you can see what they come like. They come where all the colors are just scattered in here. I will be going through these and putting all the yellows together, the greens together, the pinks and the reds, and so on and so forth. But you can see that their packaging is so super nice. Again, we get this really nice case with the handle. We have this piece of styrofoam in here to protect the markers, and it makes it so easy because, as you know, with alcohol markers, you need to lay them on their side. And they also give you this in all of their sets. I had one in here, I think it's in a coloring book, but they give you this in all their sets, and this is meant to put behind your coloring pages so that your markers don't bleed through to the other pages. But you get this other 104 colors. If you already have the 216 set, you may want to ask for just the 104 colors so that you can have all of them. The 216 set is already so many colors. I really don't feel like you need to even add on the skin tones if you are going with that, because you already get so many colors in here, and there's plenty of colors already in this set that you can use for skin tones. But you can look forward to seeing a review on my channel for the 104 set. I just haven't gotten around to that yet because this video has been so highly requested and this video needs to get out right away. And so I wanted to go ahead and film this holiday gift guide. so that y'all can get your Christmas list together. But I love the Ohuhu markers, and even this 104 set, I love that they did give us a colorless blender in here as well. Okay, y'all, so these are my Tombow dual brush pens, and I am in love with these. I am literally in love with these. A wonderful subscriber sent these to me, and ever since she sent these to me, I have not put them down. I have some of them out because I'm actually working on something, but these are wonderful too to lay down as a base layer and then come back over with your colored pencils, and they are just so much fun to use. These do have the brush tip, so that is what the brush tip looks like. And on the other side, they're more like a fine liner. So I just think they are super, super cool because you could use them as a fine liner as well if you wanted to. But they're just so much fun to use. And this particular set, it opens like this. I'm trying to do this so y'all could see it. But if I wanted to lay it like this and then have it going sort of like this and then lay my coloring page right here so that my colors were just around me, it works really well like that. But I just really love the packaging of this. And then when you're not using them, it just has this top that just goes right down and snaps right in, and then you could carry them like this. But I absolutely love this set. I will say that these are water-based, and so if you're using these in your coloring books, they are not going to go through to the other side. So if you want to start with a marker set and you want an idea for a set to ask for Christmas, I would go with a water-based set if you're not used to using markers yet. Maybe something like these Tombows, and if not, even Ohuhu has a water-based set that is supposed to be sort of like a dupe for the Tombows. I don't know if I necessarily want to say a dupe, but they do have the brush tips, and they are water-based, and they look very similar to the Tombows. There's several sets like that on Amazon that are trying to compete with the Tombows. Okay, so the next fun coloring supply to have is some fine liners, because these fine liners are super fun to be able to use in your coloring books. I mean, if you wanted to, you can just color with them. These are the Staedtler 60 Tri-Plus fine liner. I don't have a case for them, so they've not come out of their box yet. A wonderful subscriber sent these to me, and I have been wanting these for the longest time. I already actually have a ton of them. I keep them right over here in front of my desk, and I use them all the time. But I only have the smaller set, so I didn't have all the colors, and the colors that I did have were starting to dry up, and I just wanted to cry. But look at some of these beautiful colors. You even get pastel colors in here. Look at this gorgeous pink. Look how pretty that is. I want to see what this pink one looks like. Oh, how pretty. But these are some of the best fine liners. I absolutely love them. And one of my favorite things about these is that they are triangular, and so they feel much nicer holding them in my hand. I've always loved that about these. I do have a couple different sets of fine liners, but I always fall back to these. These are my absolute favorites. And if you were going with the 60 set, you could see right in here you get lots of neon colors. I didn't have any of those neon colors at all before, so I'm so excited to have these now. I use neon colors in my journals, and I use them for all kinds of other things. And look at the pastels that are over here. There's just so many pretty colors in here. But I use these to take notes. I use them for my journals. I use them in my planners. I use fine liners for so many different things. I use them in my coloring books. I even have a tutorial where I showed you how to use fine liners in coloring books. Okay, y'all, so this next one, these are super fun. So I have used these in a couple of videos. I think I've used the gold one. This is one of my absolute favorites, but I'll go ahead and put this down here so you could see it. It does look a lot more yellow, but man, y'all, these have so much glitter in them. I'm gonna hold it up a little bit closer and I'll move it back and forth, and hopefully you could see the glitter. But these are the Ohuhu glitter markers. I'm literally obsessed with these. I use these in my coloring books all the time for little added details. This is the silver one. Look at all that glitter. Oh my goodness. I love these. And if they ever go out and have no more color in them, this is something that I would definitely purchase again, because I do use them all the time. But there's so many pretty colors in this set. I've showed these in many videos, but I've never done an actual full review on them. I'm wondering if I should do a video and actually swatch them all out and show y'all how to use them. If you would like to see that, please let me know in the comments below. But these are a super fun coloring supply to use. And you get 12 colors. You get some really pretty colors in here. And these work very similar to using a Posca. So most of you know when you use a Posca, you have to pump it like that. So this is the same idea.
and then you just get the color flowing, and then it goes down like that. Oh my gosh, look at that color. Oh my gosh, that's coming out like greenish blue, like an iridescent color. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever even used that one before. Wow, look at that. Oh wow, I'll be using these again. Oh my gosh, how come I've never picked up that color? So maybe I do need to do a video and swatch all of these out for y'all. Because this one looks like it might have a little green in it when you look at the barrel, but this one does not, and I'm pretty sure it was that one that I used. I do need to swatch all of these out. I mean, there's only 12 of them. Maybe I can do like a really quick video review on those. I can't believe that I never did. But the next thing that I have is the Posca pens. And these are the Posca colors. And these are super fun to use, y'all. I use these for so many things. My favorite one is the yellow one. If you watched one of my last tutorials where I colored a iris on a Maria Trolle page in her I think it was in the Botanicum book, but I couldn't get something yellow enough, and so I just pulled out my yellow Posca and it fixed it right away. So like I told you earlier, the Poscas are great for fixing things. If you put a color down where it's either not enough or it's not bright enough or it doesn't look the way that you want it to, you just pull out your trusty Poscas and you could fix whatever you need to. But look how pretty that color is. But Poscas come in so many different colors, and I don't think a lot of people think to buy the other colors. A lot of people focus on just buying white, especially in the coloring community, because that is what people mostly talk about in the coloring community, is those white Poscas and how they create the reflections and the highlights. But these are super fun to have. Okay, one of the last things I have to share with you are these COLORISTS gel pens. These are my absolute favorite gel pens. You can purchase them in a set just like this, to where you get both of these. They both come with their cases, but here's the front of it. This glitter set comes in a beautiful case. Look at that glitter just popping all over the place. But it comes in a glitter case so that you could identify which one is the actual glitter set. But all of the ones in here are glitter gel pens. You get some absolutely beautiful colors in this set. I love their cases. The cases are very, very good quality. And then in this set, you get some other colors that are more pastel. You get some of your just regular gel pens. You get your neons. I believe some of these are metallics. And then you do still get some glitters in this set as well. I believe these are all glitter gel pens here. They all have glitter on the barrel. And then even these up here, a couple of them have glitter on the barrel, but I'm sure these are out of order because I use these quite often. But the colors that you get are really, really nice. And like I told you all, when I'm using my gel pens in my coloring books, I like to use a 1mm tip. And I'll hold these a little bit closer. I don't know if you could see that, but they all say 1.0mm. On all of these up here. These are all 1mm, but then these here all say 0.8. So 0.8 is just as good. But that's why I love these gel pens so much, because I find when they have the broader tip, these all have the broader tip as well. These all say 1.0mm. But I find when they have the broader tip, that they go down in the coloring books much, much easier, and they tend to blend much easier as well. I do have a video where I've used the COLORISTS gel pens in a COLORISTS coloring book, and I have showed you how to do gel pen blending, and it is just so super fun. So my next and favorite fun coloring supply that, I don't know, to me it's an essential. But of course I can't put it in that part of the video. These are my absolute favorite, and to me they're essential, but you don't necessarily need to have them. But this is glitter, and I have quite a lot of them, and some of them are doubles, but they are super fun. And if you want to add a little bit of added depth to the objects on your coloring pages, especially if you're coloring something like flowers, these are so super fun. But the top just comes off like this, and then they just come in the tubes like this that you just squeeze, and then the color comes to the top, and it comes out of that little teeny tiny hole up there at the top. And you just put them on your coloring pages, you spread the color around. And I actually just finished a tutorial where I mixed two of the colors together. I think it was this sea glass with this very dark teal color. And oh my gosh, it was so pretty. I wish I could show you, but I can't because that's a video coming up. So you will see that soon. But I had never mixed them before. At least I don't think I've ever mixed the colors together before. And so I did that in this tutorial and it was a lot of fun. And those two colors looked really pretty together. And then as far as this basket, I just picked up this basket at Hobby Lobby. I get most of my storage containers at Hobby Lobby. I love that store for buying things like that. But these are just a super fun coloring supply to have, and I always have my favorite place to buy stickles down in the description box below, because I know all of you are crazy about stickles or any kind of glitter too. Glitter just always makes everything better. Okay, y'all, so I hope that this video was helpful. That was quite an extensive list of gifts. I hope you were able to put together your Christmas lists or put together a list for your loved ones that may be colorist or artist. If you have any questions about anything that you've seen in this video, please put those in the comments below. I always try to answer all of my comments as soon as I possibly can. Everything that you've seen in this video, I will have links for in the description box below. So many of you have requested that I start posting UK links, so I will try to post those too for the things that I can find. As far as the Arrtx pencils that I did show you in this video, the 126 set, I'm hoping by the time I get this video up and edited that those will be available again in the US, because I know a lot of you are waiting for those. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring! Bye.